Alright guys, just want to talk about relevance today. This one's quite an important one because it is how control can be manipulated. If you understand the fact that everything around us is being manipulated to control us, but at the same time, when you have things like men going their own way, it destabilizes it. When you start having people that start switching off mainstream TV, for example, I can't remember the last time I actually watched a TV show. When I say TV show, I'm talking about a live streamed trans transcestrial, not transgender, transcestrial broadcast. I couldn't even tell you when the last time I watched one. I'm talking 20 plus years. Um, the reality is, when they started going down the route of trying to control people there, a lot of people started switching off. They started moving to YouTube, spending more time on the internet. Live streaming got cheaper because the internet got faster and more accessible. People got different outlets. So as people have moved away, they've got less control. And this is why my view is that a lot of them become more and more aggressive. Um, because they realise they can't control the way they would like. Because you've got freedom. Your freedom of thinking, your freedom of, okay, you want to be woke, you want to be whatever, that's fine. I don't have to listen to it. That's always been my argument with most things is I don't mind being anybody doing most things as long as they're not bothering me. It's like, I don't mind if it's like, I don't know, a couple of gay fellas busy doing their thing next door. As long as I can't hear it, I'm fine. I don't think about it. I've got no real issue with anybody, because it's just not my thing. That's it. I don't perplex on why one man would find another man attractive. It doesn't even cross my mind. I'm just like, not interested. It's not my thing, so I'm not even going to get into the thought patterns of it. Um, but the way the world's gone at the moment is trying to push its objectives, um, and controls and politics and globalism and all these other things onto you. But as you probably notice, I'm smart about it because for me, it's an obvious thing. And if you do this, you will find it quite useful. First thing is switch off the news. Don't bother with it. You can't influence it, you can't change it, and it's all manipulated. I look at the YouTube feed because for some reason I started watching Trump. I think it was because of the assassination thing. So then I've sort of got into it a bit. So I get fed a ridiculous amount of stuff about Kamala, a ridiculous amount with Trump, but you will see there are clear patterns of just straight down the middle. This side of the media cover it this way, that side of the media cover it that way. Guys, news is supposed to be unbiased. When you're getting pushed into a camp, don't watch it. You don't need it. Um, so what's my point? Well, the control aspect is down to you, and this is why I know a lot of people feel that they don't have a lot of authority, a lot of power, a lot of control over the things. Of course you do. What you need to understand is they need your money. If you're not giving them their money, your money, it makes it harder. So if you look at the go woke, go broke thing, Bud Light, Disney, Nike, even Toyota has come back from the brink. They turned around and have cancelled all their sponsorship on LGBTQ events. I mean, I've got to admit, I would never sponsor those events, because I don't understand them. It, it's and some of it's. I think it's because you can't. For me, I can't control it in the sense of some of the stuff that's gone out there is just beyond the pale. You know, if it can't be put in front of a child and it's in a public street, it just shouldn't be there. End of. That's it. Some of the stuff they get up to on a normal day would get you on the sex offenders list. Let's be honest. For you know, you can get arrested in the UK and put on the offenders list for, I think, urinating in the park. So, getting a guy wandering around exploiting himself and being naked, I don't understand it, but it's just weird to me. But back on page, yeah, Toyota pulled that money. So the fact is, they're not going down that path. In fact, although it's not being anti-woke, he's just saying they're not sponsoring it, which is a positive step, because at least they're trying to stay out the politics, which, let's be honest, they sell cars. They are not supposed to be in politics. A lot of these companies are getting dragged into politics, the diversity, equality, etc. The weird stuff with that Dylan Mulvaney person, hammered Bud Light, and even that they tried to double down but backfired, and now sort of going the other way. Then you look at the same. I mean, Harley's gone a bit of a strange one because it is starting to retract a lot of its DEI stuff, but as a lot of the Harley people would say, they want rid of the guy they put in charge. But my point being is, consumers, you're the guy that's going to buy the Harley. You're the guy that buys Nike footwear. You're the guy that buys Bud Light or gets somebody at Coors or something else. If they're starting to trying to influence your politics and your thinking, maybe it's time to change brands. Because it's surprising how quick those things hit their bottom line. And the weird thing about businesses is they have one function: make money. Well, as soon as they step away from making money, it doesn't take long till shareholders, boardroom execs start firing people to make it make money. I've spent a lot of time in the corporate world myself, and I've gone into places where it's been decimated of staff simply because they don't know who's good, who's bad, who's causing the problems, whatever. Get rid of all of them because the business can't afford it. It's just get them all gone. We'll start from scratch. And that is quite a norm in corporate world. So, firstly, don't feel that you're not empowered. You are. You can buy whatever you like. You can avoid listening to these people. You can choose to be a consumer or not to be a consumer. One of the things I do at the moment is I'm heavily in investment. I'm spending less and investing more. And the weird thing is, I don't even notice the difference beyond the fact that my investments are going up. I don't have any more money in the bank, don't get me wrong, not my personal account, but I do have investment funds growing. I do have vision of an exit. I am much happier because I'm not getting dragged into the negative aspects of DEI and all the other stuff. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one because it won't work. Now, from somebody who's an engineer, my theories would be trying to put logic, but then that's the point. This gets back to the two gay fellas busy doing things next door. I don't think about it. It's not my interest. I'm not even going to think about applying logic. What do you mean? Well, people trying to replace me simply because I'm white, that's just racism. I'm not interested what their agenda is behind that in the sense of their justification. They're a racist. I don't care where anybody comes from. I don't care what colour people are. I don't care what their sexual orientation is, because I work like a business on outputs. If the outputs are there, who cares? But these people are deliberately undermining businesses, deliberately causing damage to reputations. Um, they're going out their way to try and replace skilled people with often mediocre. Um, should I mention the New Zealand Navy and the ship that sank recently and that debacle, and it's not her fault, blah, blah. Okay. Or the American stealth ship with the Starlink on it. These things are why you normally want the best of the best doing certain things. I've always based everything I do on trying to do the best I can. If I'm not the fastest runner, it does not bother me. I'm not going to sit in a little pool of tears that I can't outrun. I don't know. Sebco. I don't know. I don't even watch the athletics anymore. Um, but isn't that weird? I mean, I look at how a lot of these people have gone out their way to dismantle identity. The Olympics used to be a big thing. Now they're struggling to even get countries to vote to become the next Olympic city. After the Paris Olympics, I think I did about 40 seconds of that, and that was more than enough for me. I'm actually seeing more about the Paris Olympics with what do you call it? I think it's Quadmire News or whatever. I think the Family Guy did more with it. I've seen more around their comical aspects than actually watch them for the actual Olympics. They've devalued things. Now, guys, it doesn't mean that it's the end. It doesn't mean this is the end of us, it's the end of society. What it means is we can switch off to it, like the TV. Don't watch terrestrial channels. Hits their advertising revenue, makes it bloody hard to control you. If other streams start to become even more political in the way they are, just start shutting them down. I go back to the 90s, and I used to be on bulletin board services, which were basically, they were dial-up computers. It'd be like, you'd dial into someone else's computer, and the bigger ones had like maybe 10 phone lines connected to it. But you go on there and do the equivalent of an email and maybe play some online games and maybe do something with some files, and then you log off, then somebody else will log in and do the same. That worked globally. That had no agenda. I've got to admit, the majority of people were either gamers or computer guys, or engineers. But there's no political agenda. The stuff is based on what you're in there for. So it might be that I can't remember some of the games or some really like basic games. When I say basic, they're text games. But the fact is, that sat outside the realms of control. These environments, instead of your Facebooks and whatever, they sit within the communities. I mean, I think they've got a DEI person over at Xbox, which isn't going well for her, because obviously gamers just ignore them. Because let's face it, a lot of the space about gaming is actually switching off and getting away from the daily grind. So the fact is, going in there and whining in people's ears, they don't want to hear it. They're not interested. They pay a subscription fee to stay away from people. So the point being is, even that sort of stuff, you start thinking, well, if you've got Sony and Xbox doing lock-ins, you know, they try and get you on the subscription, start their only servers, they're all them. Firstly, their hardware can be undone. I mean, I'm not sure if it's that way now, but if it is, you can recode the things. I mean, I've got to admit, it may affect you buying games and stuff, but if it's going down that route, get yourself a PC. And then you can start setting up your own servers. You can start moving away from all this crap. If they're starting to get into, we need to follow you, you're not listening. What, are you going to go and play games? Because you don't watch the news anymore. No. And you're not watching Netflix anymore because the only game you and your mates play is who's the gay character and who's the lesbian couple. No, come back here. The reality is, you start cancelling your Netflix, you start cancelling your Xbox subscriptions, you start moving away, you start realising it's nice outside. Maybe I'll go hiking this weekend. There is very little downside from switching off for the garbage. The upside, though, is you can gain more control. I mean, I used to go to LAN events a long time ago where we get like maybe 12 to 20 computers in a room and just game against each other for a whole weekend, sometimes a whole bank holiday. I'm talking we start gaming, say, Friday, 5 o'clock or whatever after work, because obviously we used to have them in my house regularly. So everyone paid £20 because having that many computers running, funny enough, does hit my electric. But my whole back room, front room, any space was just full of computers. And we'd game from, say, Friday night till Monday afternoon. It'd be Monday afternoon because quite simply after that, you've got to rest because you got work tomorrow, on the bank holiday. But even that may actually mean you're going out for a beer with the guys Monday night, the same guys you've spent days gaming with. But they're pointless, no politics, no messing around, just enjoying yourself, doing stuff. Now, like I said, a lot of stuff we've got out there has been dismantled. There is ways to actually become part of the bigger groups. And I know some guys may feel that they're a bit isolated. I would say do something strange this weekend that you haven't done before. And I say strange, it doesn't mean hang around in men's toilets. It means maybe go to a rugby match, a football match, local cricket game, tennis match. Something that you haven't normally done. And you'll probably find a new outlet, a new way of switching off, a new direction. Because one of the problems we got these days is there's not a lot encouraging us to do it. I mean, here we have the All Saints rugby. I used to go down quite regular. I haven't been for ages, but the fact is, you just go and watch the game. You think, oh, crap week. Instead of focusing on the week, you're thinking it's going to be playing whoever on Saturday or whatever. And you think that's a bit of an outlet, a bit of a switch off. But the thing is, like I said, it's not political. It's not people trying to antagonise you. You're actually just going to go and watch a rugby match. In the same way, it could be a football match. It could be many other things. And I know some of you may be focused, oh yeah, but that's the whole Colosseum and control thing and people switching off, blah, blah, blah. Look, here's a fact, guys. Unless you're going to run for government, most of the crap around you is being controlled by others. It's just sucking the life out of you. It's sucking your time. I look at the twats that are with the Labour government and the Conservatives that are coming up with their leadership nonsense. They're exactly the same. Why am I wasting my time, my life on corrupt, with people that are trying to destroy the country and fill it to the burden with people that offer nothing to the state, nothing to the economy, nothing, and they may even hate us. Often they do, while we're sitting there going, oh, well, they're going to replace us because a lot of these people don't want to work. I've met people that have come in from Somalia and they tell me how great the benefit system is. They're not interested in working. They see the benefit system as, you guys are great, you just give us stuff. They don't think, oh, I want to get a job, I want to better myself. They just go, hey, I got a house, I've got food, I've got this, They're just sponges. But we encourage it. So why am I fixated on that? We should focus on ourselves. This is the point. We focus on ourselves. Let these twats lie their way through, but like I said, they still need the votes. They still need your voice. They still need you to sit there and listen to them. As soon as people start listening, they have a major problem. It stirs discontent. At the moment, people are grumbling on Facebook, doing this, moaning about that, moaning about that. It's when people say nothing, it's a bigger problem because they have no idea what people are thinking. And they don't know how far things have gone. They don't know what buttons have been pushed. They don't know if there's a rebellion around the corner. They don't know what the hell's going on. That's the bits they worry about. You whinging on Facebook, they know you. You're not out there causing trouble. You're just whinging on Facebook. So, better off to switch off. Better off to focus on yourself. Better off to do a university course, but at the same time, if you're doing a university course like I'm doing, I still need to switch off because I work all week. Studying and working is not the solution all the time. So do stuff at the weekend. Go fishing, do something, go and buy a mountain bike, go and find some trails, do something that is productive. And don't sit on the Xbox all the time. If that's what you're doing, that's not a solution. That's not a solution. Get yourself outside. Much better. But anyway, guys, gone off on a tangent, but thanks for watching.